What's up, guys? It's Ben from the Fixed Fights podcast with Kurt and Ben. I want to talk about some things that Dustin Poirier did to set up his finish of Conor McGregor at UFC 257. So they're both southpaws, and the general dynamic that became obvious right from the jump was McGregor. So if Justin here is McGregor and I'm Poirier, the general dynamic for Poirier is a common strategy is to shade just ever so slightly to the left to make McGregor's straight left hand even longer and harder to reach. So right from the jump, Poirier is doing that, ever so slightly shading McGregor to the left. And the dynamic becomes his left hand becomes longer, but it makes my right hand shorter. So as I move to my left, if I'm Poirier, my right hand becomes shorter, his left hand becomes longer. And literally like one of the very first exchanges, you see McGregor go big on a left hand that Poirier fades ever so slightly and lands his own counter right hand. So that's kind of the general dynamic right from the jump in this fight. The calf kicks. I don't know how much effect they had. I wasn't Conor McGregor, but they looked like they hurt. And they're a little bit easier to land, as the commentary pointed out, against McGregor because his stance is a little bit wider, so he has even more, he's more rooted in the ground. It's also important to know that these calf kicks, as opposed to one where I land above the thigh where I'm a little bit closer, I can be just a hair further away, which McGregor realized, and he started to commit really big, countering the calf kicks with his straight left hand. But he has to commit really big because I'm so far away as opposed to a nice tight, traditional kick. The finish. In the second round, McGregor starts, you have to think, his leg is dead, and I have to think it becomes a little bit harder for him to keep his feet under him as he's moving. So in the second round, you start to see McGregor really sell out big on left hands, and if his leg is hurt, I also have to think it's harder for him to regain his balance. So right before the finishing sequence, you see, again, Poirier shading ever so slightly to his left, and McGregor selling out big on left hands that miss. Poirier sees that. In the final exchange, McGregor comes forward with a 1-2. Poirier catches him with a calf kick, and McGregor sells out big on a left hand, which Poirier counters with a right hook again. So again, he comes in with a 1-2, he counters, sells out big on a left hand. Poirier catches this right hand here, stuns McGregor, circles out, flurries against the cage, and finishes him. So there was a ton more going on in that fight. Obviously, these are two really intellectual and smart fighters, but that was kind of the general dynamic. That left hand against right hook kind of game that they were playing is super important. Obviously, the calf kicks had a lot to do with it, but that's how it went. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and the podcast as well. Thanks.